Alright, here we go, boys. Quick video update of the K24 Civic, but today we aren't working on the K24 Civic. We want to show you guys the idler pulley setup we're going with, which is a T7's design. But what I wanted to show you guys is the layout. For some reason, T7 Designs doesn't give you an instruction sheet with it, so you just kind of got to go with the flow. I did try to look up some videos and there is none. There's only actually one video by my boy We F Shit Up, which is the one that introduced me to T7 and some of their parts. So you guys can go watch his video. He explains it really well. I'll try to do my best explaining it also. Reason why I'm doing the video in this way is because if you guys ever go with a K24, you guys will need to change the water pump housing, and while you're at it, you might as well do the T7 Design idler pulley. Reason being, Car Sips has discontinued theirs, and if you do find it, it's going to be kind of pricey because their new price is at about 500 bucks. This setup here is about half the cost, so really high quality. Comes with a Gates belt. Let me see if I could zoom in here. Real nice quality. On the hardware, I just kind of lined it up where it looks like it's gonna fit, and it all lined up really well. The two short bolts will be for this bracket that goes onto this bracket here. These bolts here, you guys will see most of them will line up where they need to be. This bracket here goes at the bottom, and I'll be showing you guys that. This is just a visual for those guys that are going to be doing it. The actual pulley, there's a bracket. The two crush washers go in the back. The way you set up the pulley itself, I'll show you guys. Let me take this, set this down here. So the pulley, the way you put this pulley together, I kind of have to play with it myself a little bit. Bracket goes in the back with the two crush washers, and you'll see it give you the movement. And then on your pulley, you'll just have to make sure that you don't use the clip side. The clip goes to the back. Once you do the clip on the back, this spacer goes here in the front. It'll fit nice and smooth. Then your washer and crush washer, and you're pretty much done with that setup as far as the up and down motion is going to give you. Now let's go install this on the engine. Alright, so first you're going to take your two, which is going to be the smaller bolts here. You'll see where they fit into the bracket and your block. I'm not going to tighten anything. I'm just going to put everything on there so we can see how it fits nice and snug, and then I'll go back and tighten everything. Now we're going to do this upper bracket. You guys will see where your bolts will kind of line up. Again, this is going to be more of a visual. I wish I was better when it came down to sizing of bolts and stuff like that, because I'll be the first one to tell you I am not good at that. I actually need to get a bolt chart. Real nice and clean. So for this bottom bracket, you're going to use the two smaller bolts, and this will go on here like this, actually. Real nice and neat. Starting to look real nice on here. Alright, so I did go ahead and get all the hardware nice and tight. You are going to use a 6 Allen. So now we're going to go ahead and use our OEM alternator. Use the top bolt for now just to kind of hold it in place for me. I do recommend using a OEM alternator if you don't have access to an OEM one. I would recommend getting one from T7 Design now that they do offer a K-swap apologize, not radiator, alternator. So just makes it real nice and clean. While you're at it, putting on your new bracket, you could throw on a new alternator as well. You don't want these going out. Is the last thing you want changing out. So buying a new alternator is always a good peace of mind. So just a quick tip on those guys that will be doing this. Now for the bottom hardware, you are gonna want to use the 2 extra bolts you have in the end with a washer, and then after you put those washers on there, T7 does offer spacers. I'm guessing one is, let me see, let's get them out the bag really quick so we're not making no crazy guesstimations. Alright, so it looks like they're all the same. They're probably just giving you an extra set of spacers. So what you want to do is, let me get the camera here so I can show you. So right there you can see where your spacer is needed for your stock alternator. You're going to put your spacer right in between the two. Put that bolt with the washer at the bottom. And just like that, we have our alternator installed. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, and then I'll show you guys the belt process. Alright, so we have our alternator nice and tight, cleaned it up a bit so the customer is nice and happy with the install. So now we're gonna install the belt. Again, no instruction. Real simple install though. I know a lot of guys get confused if you're new to it. Real simple. Come back up and over here, and then you're pretty much done with your belt there. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add tension, and then I'll let you guys know some of the most important things to do while adding tension to your tensioner. So first and more importantly, make sure that your pulley is nice and tight with the crush washer to the tensioner side. Now you're just gonna want to go ahead and add hand tension here, because this bolt, what it's doing, it's gonna hold the tensioner in place while you tighten the backside to keep it nice and secure. So we're just gonna add tension here, and usually you don't want to add too much tension. You just want to add enough where it won't slip, and it'll just keep a nice smooth rotation. So right there is nice and tight. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these back bolts, which I'll show you. So you guys see the tension there, that's pretty good tension. And then our bolts here, which is what secures our tension, they're not fully tightened, so you don't want to go as tight here because you still got a little bit of bind. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tighten it just a bit, give it one more snug turn, and then we'll be done. So right there, what I did is I just kind of tightened it so the pulley's back up straight. I'm gonna give it maybe one full turn. Check my tension, that's pretty good. I'll give it one more turn just to be nice and tight. That's pretty good there. Now these are the ones that are gonna hold your tensioner in place. So you wanna make sure that you secure these, and that's why they come with the crush washer on the back side as well, because that's what's gonna keep it nice and tight. You want to go back and forth so you get a nice even tightening, because remember we added tension here. That one's good, and this one's good. So there you guys go, your T7's design idler pulley delete and alternator relocator kit.